We're creating a custom field that measures the Logic Check DCMA metric. This metric makes sure that you have predecessors and successors for every task. Your schedule is a dynamic forecasting model, but it's not a model if there are no connections to other tasks. Now, I showed in my DCMA videos what field to use to filter, but we want to build a custom field that already has the answer to the questions for an easy data transfer to Excel or Power BI. In the videos, I just showed how to filter on blanks, which is fine, but you want to make it as easy possible for the data transfer. So the column is, you're going to insert a column, and in this instance, I'm using a text field. So if you were to say custom fields and you want to change it, you could go between flags and text, but in this one, it's text, and this is where you're going to change the information. I have it in text 2 because I'm using text 1 for something different, but I add a formula. In here, the easiest way to do this in project is to look at the len function, and len is for length of characters. And if a field is blank, the length of characters is 0. And because we're looking at 2 different fields, we're including it in one, but it's saying, hey, if the field of predecessors has a length of 0, which means it's blank, I want it to type in no predecessors. And then same with successors. If the successors field has a length of 0 characters, I want it to write back no successors. But what do I do with all the ones that do have predecessors and successors in them? I just want to put a dash in there because, again, I'm trying to draw my eyes to what is a trigger. So I say it's a dash if it's not true. So there's no graphical indicators because I'm actually having it spit out words, and that's why I did use the text field. Now, because I'm combining this, is that why I also used a text field, is it's not just a yes. If I want to fix it, I need to easily know, okay, what was it? Was it no predecessors or no successors that triggered it? So that is why I used a text. And then I can filter on this or have Power BI do it. But having it in this view, I can look at it from a scheduler and see I don't have predecessors for this. I need to go fix that. And you are allowed to have one task that has no successor and one task that has no predecessor. It's usually your very first task has no predecessor and your very last task has no successor. So you can see here where I need to fix these tasks right here. So I can easily do that by looking here. I like to have everything open though, because I want to see the other relationships to other tasks. So I can say, okay, why doesn't this one have a predecessor? And I can put it in there. When I create these custom fields, then I have all of them together in a view, and I can copy and paste it over to Excel, or like I said, to Power BI. But in this demonstration, I'm showing Excel. I copy and paste it over. Now, the formula I use is different than the other ones. The other ones, because they're flag fields, it's a yes or a no, and I'm just filtering on the yes. This is a little different. So I am filtering on all those that I just made it easy to say if it's not a blank, because the summaries have blanks, or if it's not a dash. So that's how the formula works, is in that column, if there is a dash or a blank, that's not what we're counting. We're counting everything else. So that's also why, though, you can't make your range be longer than what it really is. It has to be exactly how many rows have actually data in it. But then you see at the very end, I put a -2. That is because I said before, you are allowed one task without a predecessor and one task without a successor. So you're minusing 2 out of that. So that is how I got 6. Now, I'm not allowed more than 0. It's just one of the things. You have to have 0% of your task not have logic relationships. So I am tripping this metric, and it's 6%. And it's red because row 2 is greater than row 1. Now, how did I know how many tasks I have? It's not a count of how many rows you have. That's a mistake. So in this formula, I am looking at your summary task. So I copy and paste this over as part of my view, and I say only count the tasks that have a no in there. Because if you were to count your summary lines, again, your summary tasks are a roll-up of all the details beneath it, so you don't want to duplicate what you're calculating. So I only have 89 tasks, but I did have 116 rows. So that's where you get the 89, and so 6 divided by the 89 is the 6%. That is how you create a custom field to use for your DCMA metrics for the Logic Check. Hope this helps you for today. Now go out there and flowcast those projects.